Afternoon, all my fellow third actors. I'd like to respond to a few questions I've gotten along the way about my third act blueprint. We've spoken about how important taking that pause to reflect on who you were at your beginnings, what served you in your working life, and how you're saving this small space in your life just for you. And you want to design it the way you love it. So here is a summary of how it's built, explained simply. Your third act isn't built all at once. It's designed around 5 core elements: energy, identity, time, people, contribution. First, energy. What gives you momentum? What drains it? Design around what fuels you, not what impresses others. For me, I get energy from creativity, from creative people, people with vision and critical thinking skills. These kind of people don't impose their limitations on you or your ideas. They are what I call panoramic thinkers. I like to bounce my ideas around these people in my life. They ask the right questions and then say, okay, how do we get there? Not tell me I've lost it. They give me my mojo. What drains your energy? I'd have to say negative, limited thinking, and superficial fixations on looks that help nobody to be valued just for their words, their message. Not looked at for how many cracks on their face then. Valued as less than in modern culture. People that like to poop on your parade for one reason or another. Maybe they're jealous that you're crazy enough to take the risk and they might not have the balls to put themselves out there. That drains anyone, and I tell you, my fellow third actors, this is the ideal and natural time to curate your energy people list. Downsizing means lots of things. What do you think? Write it down. Second core element of the plan is your identity. And by this, I mean we all are who we are, of course. Always have been at the fundamental level. But now ask yourself who you are beyond your former career role. Not your title, but what are your values, your strengths, and your level of curiosity? Without your title, we've all got to get right with how we feel about losing that title. When you become a former this or that, it almost implies that you're out there in the abyss somewhere, not currently anything that the working world recognizes, therefore invisible to people you used to have regular contact with. You'd be shocked how fast it happens. However, I am here to say that once you give this topic the thought and consideration it needs, you can seamlessly relax into yourself, and that feels mighty good. I'm not going to break into song singing, let it go, but you get my drift. Time. Time doesn't stand still, never has, never will. It keeps marching on, and we could all take better care of ourselves. But as the third core element of the third act blueprint, it is clearly one of the most precious things we can manage to a degree. How you spend your time really matters now. No joke, how do your days actually work? Freedom needs at least some rhythm. Design your time with intention. Here's some examples. If you've decided you're going to write books that you've been itching to have time for, then select your writing window, as short or as long as you feel you're at your most energized. This is where you can take your freedom to focus doing the project at set hours every day. Pick days off. Who cares? You reallowed. What it does for your use of your time is allow you to have the most energizing experience at the time you're feeling your peak of creativity. It also tells family and friends that this is your time, and any family obligations can come outside those hours. It might be really hard for you to allow yourself to come first for once, but believe me, to go the long run, you need this to be able to serve others with a joyful heart. The fourth core element of the third act blueprint is people. Who sharpens you? I have an amazing, fabulous Dutch friend, a fellow lady author, and accomplished social enterprise exec in Amsterdam. When I speak to her, she has panoramic vision and the same business acumen as I do, so we talk the same language. I get such energy from any discussion with her. Who steadies you? I have an Irish bestie in Western Australia who is my mental rock. She's one tough cookie and dependable for solid advice and an open mind. I've known her for 30 years. She never steers me wrong because she cares about me and mine like her own family. And who keeps you really grounded and knows you before electricity was invented? It's my lifelong bestie from childhood. She knows who she is. She lives in New York, where I was before I moved to Paris. But we grew up together as teenagers, into mothers across an ocean, and now into grandmothers who video chat on the regular. She's my compass point, my true north, always reminds me of who I once was, and that, ladies and jelly beans, keeps you grounded. Who inspires growth rather than nostalgia? Let me tell you about my British husband. The man is one of few, most open and accepting individuals on this rock we call England. He's a let them kind of guy and always encourages my mad schemes and projects. Because he knows I'm a happier person when I have something creative I'm working on that's just for me. And it's thanks to him that I started myself with AI and other tools I would need to create at my budget and my speed for fun and just because I can. He's an engineer, and so anything business process or tech thingy that he can make a workflow AI agent to save time and simplify things, he's a happy camper. So automating video production and distribution is just one example. It's all good, and my Downsy is dedicated to my continued growth and learning, so that's a great support. Contribution is the fifth core element of the third act blueprint. When I say contribution, I include all contributions of your time or energy to others, whether that be family, friends, neighbors, or the general community. Once you have your project time set as the hours and days of the week that you will give to bringing your blueprint to life, contribution fits wherever else you want. Workaholics react well to tick lists and schedules. Keep that habit. It's a good one. Schedule it on your daily smartphone. Set an alert. This has been my way ever since smartphones. Before that, it was a daytimer planner. Same tools, new uses, okay? It's just like at work when your 10-hour days were carved up and scheduled within an inch of your life. If you need an hour 2 days a week to help out at the local community center, teaching skills to young adults, get it on the phone with an alert. The psychological effect of scheduling a 2-hour period that says I'm doing this at that time and I will not be available, it gives us the order in our day that we miss. For many of us, someone else used to manage our calendar and we had even less control over our time when everyone wanted a piece of it. Rest assured, my fellow workaholics, we still like idea of a schedule and agenda. The beauty of it is that you can change who gets your time as you go. And like many of us, if you had to keep a part-time job to make retirement ends meet, your time is even more precious. If others can't cope with you not being 100% available 24 hours a day, let them figure it out. You're not in charge of that anymore. Schedule in your work schedule, then your passion project first, then the rest. Always remember that it's the happy project that gives you the energy to do the rest. Where do you feel useful, engaged, and alive, without obligation? Go there regularly, schedule it, stick to it like glue. You may think that will just exhaust you more, but in most cases, it is the opposite. The blueprint is living, not fixed. You test, adjust, and evolve with it. That's the third act advantage. Here's your homework until our next episode. In preparing for your third act, ask yourself these questions. Write it down. What activities make me feel most alive? What drains me faster than it should? What do I want more of in my weeks? When I remove my former title, who am I? What strengths keep showing up in my life? What am I naturally curious about now? How do my days currently look? Where does time slip away without meaning? What rhythms would support the life I want? Who energizes me? Who challenges me in a good way? Who do I want more time with and why? And finally, where do I feel genuinely useful? What would I happily do without recognition? What kind of impact feels right for this stage of life? One final question. If I trusted myself completely, what would my third act look like? Write it down. That's your starting point. Hey everyone, like and subscribe if you wanna. Ding the dang bell for more episodes. I'm CWR and this is Love Your Third Act. See you next time. Bring your homework.